And come January 31st, Walmart will go through a change that's been well told. Doug McMillon will step down as CEO. But actually, the way that the company communicated it is a bit of a transition in the AI context as well. You're going to be very busy from this point on.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've always said that we're people-led and tech-powered, and I think that AI presents this incredible opportunity to rethink so many parts of what we do and how we do it. It will affect everything from how we serve customers, how we build a closer connection with customers using technology, both in-store and online, but also every step of what leads up to serving customers, the supply chain, inventory, how we choose products and how we bring them to customers. So I think it's very, very exciting.
It is exciting. We're on this cusp of AI agents, agentic AI. How is that feeding into what, I can imagine it's customer service first and foremost.
The consumer or customer-facing bit, right?
Yeah, but where else are we going to see it feed in?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned customer service, because that is where the first experiences in our Sparky shopping agent kind of came to life. Customers first started by saying, where's my order? If I have an issue, how do I get a refund? Things like that. But that was just the beginning.
Was it a genuine agent, though, or was it just a generative tool?
It was absolutely an agent, and it's able to take action on your behalf and truly help you out. But now we're going to see it emerge into solving many more of the things that customers really want when it comes to shopping. So, for example, today people spend a lot of time reordering the same things that they buy every single week. Well, now Sparky's just going to take care of that for you. It will get to know you and understand that you're planning a camping trip, right, or you have a barbecue coming up, or any of these kind of scenarios that today rely a lot on scrolling through lists, where customers have just become accustomed to scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and all of a sudden you'll just be able to very naturally tell us what it is that you're looking for, and Sparky will bring it directly to you. And I think that's going to change how people engage with their mobile experiences, but it's also going to make its way directly into the store, where a lot of those journeys will make shopping in-store and online better. So I no longer refer to it as online. I refer to it as digital, because the digital experience online and in-store will get much, much more exciting.
There is a direct mechanism for that as well, which is the integration of Walmart through ChatGPT. It launched in the fall. Give me some data points on adoption, the size of the user base currently. But I guess for Walmart, the one metric that I'm sure that you monitor is fulfillment. How many people engage with Walmart through ChatGPT and finalize a transaction?
Yeah, well, we rolled out our partnership with ChatGPT just before Black Friday. So it was really good timing to see what happens when we don't just serve customers when they come directly to us, but also when we come to customers where they are. And many of these journeys actually don't begin as commerce journeys. They don't necessarily start with shopping in mind. You know, when you say, I need to get a wine stain out of a rug, you're not necessarily thinking about buying something. So a lot of those kinds of conversations would begin on a ChatGPT type interface, but then they lead into a commerce experience. And our goal is to be where customers are, but also to serve those moments that didn't necessarily begin with shopping, but they end up with shopping.
But is it working so far?
Well, it's very early days. I mean, the vast majority of our customers come to us through the channels that they've always come to us from, but we're starting to see an emerging behavior there. And what excites me is that it isn't just like the behaviors we've always seen. It's enabling us to reach customers in moments that they didn't use to come to us for. And that's very exciting for us. But it's still very early days, so too early to say.
I mean, Daniel, I think it's worth reflecting for our audience what the actual technology is that you've built or that you've gone to other people for, because the big elephant in the room is Amazon, which is a very vertically integrated company, and also in commerce and in AI. How are you thinking about owning your AI stack or turning to others?
We believe that we need to build technology that will transform shopping experiences starting all the way from the very top of the supply chain. So not only are we building the technology that creates consumer-facing experiences inside of our app, we also build the technology that starts upstream of that as well. So I'll give you an example. In our supply chain, not only are we loading trucks with pallets that reach the store to replenish shelves, but we're using AI to very intentionally load those pallets in exactly the right order so that when those items come off the truck, they go straight to the shelf. And that the plan of how they'll get replenished in the store started in the distribution center. And that's an example of how we build technology that not only enables us to reach customers through our digital products, but actually makes our in-store experience better, because shelves are stocked with the right products at the right time for the right customers. And that's a thought process that began miles upstream of the store. So we're using AI technology in that way as well. And that's why this is a really end-to-end story for us.
There's a very clear distinction between how Walmart interacts with its customers through AI and how it uses AI internally. That is your job as well, right? You split your time between the West Coast and Bentonville, and the West Coast is where the talent is. Actually, that's probably my biggest question for you is, what happens next in hiring? How competitive do you feel your team is from an engineering talent perspective?
Yeah, well, I mean, we actually run a larger technology organization than many tech companies. So we are every bit, when we say we're people-led and tech-powered, you really see it in the talent that we have on the team. And that extends all the way to our product and engineering and design and data science teams, which are every bit as sophisticated as the most sophisticated technology companies out there. But what's cool is that what we offer to technologists working at Walmart is actually quite unique, because they get to walk the stores, they get to affect what happens in the distribution centers. It's a physical job as much as it is a technical job. That's what attracted me to it, and I think it's what attracts a lot of our engineers to this place.
Well, how many humanoid robots are going to be walking your stores? Where are you seeing that? I mean, we're at CES, and everywhere you turn, there's a humanoid robot.
It's a good question. Like, is it genuinely part of your plan?
When we say we are people-led and tech-powered, what we want to do is help the people, the associates in our stores and clubs, serve customers the very best way possible. And in fact, one of the most exciting ways that we're using agentic AI is actually through the apps that our own associates are using when they serve customers. So if you imagine in the past, when a customer would ask an associate a question, the associate only had so much information to work with to help the customer. Now the associates all have an AI, agentic AI interface that they use on their devices that has incredible amount of access to knowing what's in the store, but also what's being replenished at what rate, et cetera. So our mentality is, how do we use AI and technology to help our associates serve customers
better? So no robots?
We're people-led tech power.
But will there be? There obviously must be robotics that's going into the fulfillment centers and in the manufacturing.
Right.
Will they come in? We're already seeing them stocking shelves. Is that something that you think will work, or are we just way too early for that? We're hearing such mixed messages.
I think it's far too early to go there, and I think it's much more interesting and much more practical to think about the ways that we can use technology to help our associates with our customers. Our customers love our associates. They often build personal connections.
Yeah.
We view that as an asset and a differentiator. And we've always, it kind of comes in the history of the company, has always been about our associates and the connection they create with customers. And AI and technology just enables them to do it better.
This is the question facing every technology company, big or small. Was the investment and the experiment worth it? Has it paid off so far? You're a part of the management and leadership team, right? How much pressure is on you to say, here is a quantifiable piece of evidence of operational cost saving, boost to profit, things like that, because of the work you'd already done in AI?
Well, 2025 was a year where a lot of people experimented with AI. No one was really sure where it was going to work, where it wasn't going to work. 2026 is the year where we're going to start seeing real impact from it. And the impact that excites me most is the growth opportunity that it creates. Because it enables us to understand customers better than we've ever understood them before, we can serve them more products at the right time, with great prices and great speed. That's the ethos of the company. But now we're starting to see AI enable a better shopping experience, which means more frequent shopping moments, more scenarios served for customers. But we're also seeing impact in our supply chain. It's enabling us to identify the products that customers are going to need, when they're going to need them, and get those products to the shelves better and faster than we've been able to do before. So it is real impact, and it's very practical at Walmart, which gets me very excited.
We've got 30 seconds. What's the one coolest thing that you've seen here?
I've seen a lot, but I did just walk by what I think was the largest tractor I've ever seen. And it just a reminder of how technology isn't just changing the things that we see, but things that are happening miles before they reach us. This thing was the size of a small city. So.